I'm doing a live about maths navigation, so let's just switch then to year 5. So we've got the lesson slides. So these are absolutely amazing. It just guides you through the teaching of the lesson. So very different to the modelling PowerPoints. It actually teaches a lesson. But these sound buttons are amazing. Now, you probably don't want to use that in your teaching. Of course, you want to do it yourself. But imagine if you've got a child who just needs to go over it or they want to recap. It might be that you assign it for homework so the parents can see as well. But if you click on that, then it will talk to them. And it doesn't always just read either. Often it gives them extra information. But what I love about these, which are just the best thing ever, is this interactive bit. What I like about it is that you can get children to come up and do that on the board, but you can also assign this to all the children as well on Classroom Secrets Kids, and you could say, like, go along with me and now fill the answers in and then see what they got. When we get to the end, then we always have some kind of reasoning and problem solving as well to work through together. We've got video tutorials as well. So these are on Classroom Secrets Kids. Basically, it's our teachers teaching a concept for you. So it might be that you say it for homework, or maybe you've got a small group and you send them out with the TA, especially if that's in the prior learning. Sometimes you'll see a video tutorial in the prior learning, that could be, something that you want to do. So this is Martin.
I'll be using my pen.
Then you'll see how he's doing the teaching. And then we also have the questions. So they have to answer the questions before they can move on in the video. Practical activities. This will only show if it's there. So we don't just create them for any old step. We only create them if it's relevant. So we actually made these kind of like little games, really, for home learning, but they're really, really good. So it's a practical game that maybe a group of children could do with a TA. So that's another thing that you might not necessarily have to mark. So these are really well thought out, and so if they are there as an option, then you should definitely try using the supporting activities. The varied fluency. So this is the worksheet that you're used to downloading. Now, it's fine if you want to download that worksheet, but I challenge you to try something else as well, because we do have other things. I challenge you to try the interactive activities that would be marked for you, which would be really nice. Reason and problem solving. So I said I would mention more about these. So you've got the 3 differentiated worksheets. You've also got mixed practice. So this was something that we also created for home learning, where you do have varied fluency and reason and problem solving on the one page if that's what you prefer. This discussion problem, they're designed to be done at least in pairs, maybe in a small group. They're designed to have open-ended answers. They're quite difficult. It might be that you use it as an extension. Sometimes you know that they need to carry on with this particular step for another day, but you don't really have anything that's quite hitting it. This is the thing. We also kind of have a similar thing, maybe not as open-ended because of the nature of it, an interactive thing where it's quite tricky. It looks like one slide, but it's not going to be over in 5 minutes. It's going to take a bit of working out. So that's also an option, especially if you don't want to mark it. You got homework if you really must. I'm just not a fan of homework myself, but you could use them as extensions or all sorts of little activities. You could still use them and it not be homework. Or for homework, another thing, you could set these instead. Games, which is so much nicer. Sometimes the interactive activity is just like a worksheet, but it just means that you don't have to mark it. And I just think children are probably gonna want to do it more if it's on a device. And we try and make sure that our resources work on all sorts of devices. We try to make them device agnostic, it's called, for the fancy word. But, Fire tablet, iPad, laptop, desktop, you can use it on all of those things.